Hello everybody and welcome to this week's coding class. I'm super excited to have you guys here, and today we are going to be coding a game that my son came up with. So we were playing with a project around wrecking balls, and he thought it would be super cool to do a wrecking ball in Scratchjr. And I thought that it would be a really cool class for you guys. So let me just show you what it is, and it should be popping up somewhere here. So there you have Scratchjr. And above him, you see there's a yellow crane. And when I press on green, 3, 2, 1, go. You'll see that the crane moves with the wrecking ball. And Scratchjr. has to keep jumping on top of that moving wrecking ball and crane to not get hit by it. And when he is hit by it, let's see what happens. Oh no, he's hit by it, so he moves. I was hit by a wrecking ball. And he says, oh no, I was hit by a wrecking ball. And if you tap on Scratchjr, the game starts again. Okay? What do you guys think about this game? Isn't it super fun? That's cool, so let's make it. Pick up your iPad, your tablet, or your computer and boot up Scratchjr. And let's start by creating a new program. So new project. So we're going up here to the left to that plus sign over there. We're going to press on it, and that creates a new project. We don't have to take out Scratchjr, the cat, because we're actually going to use him for this one. So let's start with the background. We're going to press up there next to ABC, the one that has the blue and the green, and we're going to draw our background. So press on the paintbrush. And now what we're going to do is start by drawing a line, which is going to be our floor. So select the black color, select the squiggly line, the one that looks like a snake, and this thickness, well, let's do this thickness here. So not very thick, not very thin, the one in the middle. You see these squares? Count 1, 2, 3 squares, and draw a line on that third square's line, the line that's already there. So you see there's a line already there. Just put your finger and draw all the way across it. Okay, so you should have like a straight line all across. We're going to go to green. So this green here, because we're going to make it grass, we're going to go to the thick line. So select the thick line, and just with your finger, draw in all that space under the black line. If you cover the black line, it doesn't really matter. So more or less like that, okay? And you may ask, why didn't you use the bucket? So the bucket only works if you have something closed. So for example, if I had done a square or a triangle or a circle or something that closes, it can fill inside it. So now that you have that, we're going to press on the tick box and we have our background. So we're going to bring Scratchjr down to stand on that floor. And we're going to shrink him a little bit. So we're going to go to the purple blocks, and we're going to drag down the shrink block. So you see how it has 3 people and a small person here? We're going to use that block and tap on it once and twice. And we're going to make sure with our finger to drag Scratchjr down to the floor so that he's more or less touching that black line or the green. And now we're going to start by creating our crane. So we're going to go here to the plus sign on the left. We're going to go to the paintbrush, and we are going to do a rectangle. So under the squiggly, the circle, there's this square. Press on that. Press on black, so color black on the bottom. And for a line, we're going to use the middle thickness. So this one here. And now very important is, you see the big squares? We're going to count 1 big square, 2 big squares, and 3 big squares. And we're going to put our finger here. So more or less 1 big square down. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3 to the left, and 1 up. Okay, so you should have a rectangle more or less covering 3 squares in the middle of the screen. So you should have 3 squares on this side and 3 squares on that side. When you've done that, we're going to fill it in with yellow. So press on yellow color, the bucket, and anywhere in the middle of that rectangle that you just created. Okay? And now we are going to put 3 black crosses through it. So press on black, press on the squiggly line, and now with your finger, go 1 cross, more or less following the squares, 2 crosses, and 3 crosses. Okay, more or less like that. And when you have that, we've finished our crane. So we can press the tick box. Okay, and you'll see that is a little bit small. So let's make them bigger. We go to the purple blocks and we go to the grow block. So drag down that grow block and press on it once, twice, 3 times. And now we're going to drag it up here. So it should be touching the top of the screen. Okay? Now that we have our crane, we're going to make the chain that the wrecking ball attaches to. So go to the plus sign on the left, press the paintbrush, and now make sure you have squiggly line, so above the circle and the square, this one here. Make sure that it's not the thinnest, not the thickest, not the one in the middle, this one here. So it should be that one, the second one. Make sure that it's black, and now with your finger, draw a line more or less in the center of the screen and down. So put your finger up there and go all the way down. Okay? More or less like that. Just a line that goes down. And when you have that, press the tick box. Now, let's bring the line up to the crane. Yeah. And actually, let's move things around a little bit. So we're going to take the crane and drag it to the top left corner. So it should be touching here and there. And we're going to drag the line. Let me see if I can select the line. And drag it more or less so that it's touching the crane in the middle. More or less. Okay? And now for the last thing, we're going to make a wrecking ball. So let's press on the plus sign. Go to the paintbrush. And now select the circle on the left. So under the squiggly line, the circle. It doesn't really matter the thickness because we're going to fill it in. Make sure it's black. And now put your finger more or less where you have a big square, a junction of a big square, if that's a word. Put your finger there and now go 1 square down, 1 square right, 2 squares down and 2 squares right. So you should have more or less a circle that covers 4 squares. So you should have passed here and there. And let go. Press on the bucket and press in the middle of the circle. So you should have a filled in black circle, which is our wrecking ball. Press on the tick box and drag that wrecking ball under the chain. Very, very important is that it doesn't touch the chain. You see how I have like a little space there? When we're coding, I'll explain to you guys why, but very, very important is that it does not touch the chain, okay? Now, let's just do our next scene where Scratchjr will be. So go here to the plus sign on the right, so under where you see the wrecking ball, the chain, and Scratchjr, press there. And we actually don't need to change anything here because we're going to keep it as it is. So now that we have the scene, go back to the one with the crane. So press here on the right and we can start coding. So we're going to start with the cat. So go all the way up to the cat and press on him. And what he needs to do is when you tap on him, he needs to jump up and then go back down. So we're going to go to the yellow blocks. We're going to drag down the start on touch, so the one with the hand. And we're going to put that down here. If you guys don't like having this block here, we don't need it anymore. So you can just put your finger on it, drag it up, and let go, and it disappears. So after we touch Scratchjr, we need him to move fast. So we're going to go to the orange blocks and drag down the speed block, which is this one here with the person kind of walking. We're going to attach that to the other one, press on the triangle, and you have stopped, so very slow, walking, normal speed, and then fast, which is this one that has a person running. Press on fast. We're going to go to the blue blocks, and we're going to tell him to go up. So we're going to drag down the up block. And we're actually going to tell him to go up 8 times. So we're going to press on the 1, and we're going, in this little calculator that appears, we're going to press on 8. Okay? Now, why is that? Let me just press up here. So you see this one here that has all the squares. I'm going to press on that. And if you see, he's here. I'm going to say 8 because 5 plus 8 gives 13. So he'd go all the way up here and he'd stay here. If I would do more than that, like 20 or 25 or something, he would actually go above the screen and go under again. So I don't need him to do that. So that's why I chose 8. I'm going to press on this button again so that the squares disappear. And now after he's gone up, we're going to have him go down. So go to the down arrow, and if he went up 8, he's going to go down 8. So press on the 1, and in the calculator, press 8. And that's all he needs to do. So we're going to go to the red blocks and drag down the one without the arrows. So we tap once, he jumps once. And done. Now we're going to code the crane. And the crane actually has 2 jobs. One is to say 3, 2, 1, start. And then the other one is for it to move. So let's press on the crane here. So make sure that you have it selected. Again, if you don't want this purple block because we don't need it, just press on it, drag it up, and let go. We're going to go to the yellow blocks and drag down the start on green. We're going to record now a message. So go to the green blocks, press on the microphone, and what we're going to do is we're going to record 3, 2, 1, go. So press red, 3, 2, 1, go, and then press on the tick box, okay? Red, 3, 2, 1, go! And tick box. When you've recorded that, drag down the microphone, okay? Go to the yellow blocks and drag down an envelope. The closed one, not the open one. And why? So what I noticed is, if as soon as you press the green flag, the game starts, it's super hard for you to make Scratchjr jump because you press on green and the crane is already moving and then you have to jump. So if you do this pause, so you kind of do 3, 2, 1, it allows you to be ready to start the game. And then we send a message so that everybody starts moving at the same time. So you need the crane, the cable, and the wrecking ball all to move at the same time. And this send message sends it at the same time to everybody, so everybody starts exactly at the same time, okay? And that's what it does. So we're gonna go to the red blocks and finish this line of code, okay? And now we're going to do the coding of the crane moving. So we go to the yellow blocks and drag down the receive message block. So that's the one with the open envelope, okay? We're going to go to the blue blocks and we're going to drag down the move right. So the crane is currently here on the left. We're going to tell him to move to the right. And we're going to go under it. And instead of 1, we're going to put 15, a 1 and a 5. If I go again to my secret blocks button, you'll see that it's here on 3. So 3 plus 15 means it will go all the way to 18 here. And then it's going to go back because we're going to tell it to go back. But if I would do more than 15, it would kind of just go around in circles. And we don't want that, okay? So I'm going to take out my little cheat button there so that I don't see the squares anymore. And I'm going to drag down the move left. I'm going to press on the 1 and change it to 15. So 1, 5. I'm going to go to the red blocks and drag down the one with the arrows, okay? So when we press green, it's going to say 3, 2, 1, go, send a message. It's also going to receive a message, move 15 to the right, then 15 to the left, and keep repeating this. So it's just going to keep doing this movement. And that's exactly what I need the cable and the wrecking ball to do. So instead of coding it again, I'm going to copy. So put your finger on this envelope, drag it to the cable, and drop it on the cable. Put your finger on this envelope, and drop it to the wrecking ball. Okay, and let go. So you should see now, if you go to the cable, that you have exactly the same line of code, receive message from the crane, start moving, and keep moving. So we don't have to code anything on the cable. Let's go to the wrecking ball. So the wrecking ball is going to do exactly the same thing, so exactly the same movement when it receives the message. But what happens is, if it touches Scratchjr, or the cat, it needs to tell us that it hit. So it's going to have a start on bump. We're going to go to the yellow blocks and this one here. So the one that has 2 characters, the white and the gray, drag that one down, go to the red blocks and drag down the one with the next scene, okay? So the one that has Scratchjr in the middle. So basically, if it touches the cat, it knows that we lost the game. So it's going to send us to the next screen, okay? And that's all the coding we need to do on this screen. So let's go to the next one. And we're going to have a couple of things for Scratchjr. So press here on the right, the next scene, the one with the 2. and we're going to start coding him. So he's going to do a couple of things. So one is he's going to move in that direction because he was hit with a wrecking ball. Poor cat. So we're going to drag down the start on green. He's going to move fast. So we're going to go to the orange blocks and drag down the speed block. Under that speed block, we're going to press on the triangle and go to the move fast. So this one here. We're going to go to the blue blocks and tell it to move to the right. So drag down the move right block. We're going to go to the red blocks and drag down the one with the arrows. So as soon as we get this screen, he's going to be moving to the right very, very fast. We're also going to have him kind of wiggle because he was hit by a wrecking ball, so he's kind of trembling there. So go to the yellow blocks, drag down the start on green, go to the movement blocks, and drag the rotate right, rotate left blocks. Okay, so rotate right, it's the one with the circle, rotate left, go to the red blocks, and drag down the one with the arrows. Okay? So we have him moving to the right. He's also kind of trembling. What else does he need to do? He needs to tell us, oh no, I've been hit by a wrecking ball. So let's go to the start on green again. So yellow blocks, start on green. We're going to pause first, so he's not saying it all the time. So go to the orange blocks, drag down the one with the watch. So the pause block. We're going to go to the green blocks, we're going to record a message. So press on the microphone. We're going to press on red. We're going to say, oh no, I was hit by a wrecking ball. And then the tick box. Oh no, I was hit by a wrecking ball. And now drag down the microphone that appears next to the stopwatch. And that's all this line of code needs to do. So go to the red and drag down the one with the arrows. These are a lot of lines of code that are going at the same time. And now just one more thing. How do we reset the game? So if we tap on Scratchjr, we start the game again. Go to the yellow blocks, start on tap, so the one with the hand. Go to the red blocks, and the one that has the scene with the crane and the wrecking ball, okay? And that's it, guys. You made it. Well done. Do you guys want to give it a run? Let's press on the scene with the crane here on the top right. Go to full screen. Okay, and now press on the green arrow. 3, 2, 1, go! 3, 2, 1, go. And now when the crane stops moving, make Scratchjr jump by tapping on him. Tap on him again. Tap on him again. Tap on him again. And now if he hits it, there we go.
No, I was hit by a wrecking ball.
Oh no, I was hit by a wrecking ball. Isn't that a super cool game, guys?
I was hit.
I hope you liked it. I hope you liked this coding class. As always, every week we have a new coding class. Any comments, feedback, even showing you what you guys are up to, go to Instagram, The Coding Dad. If you want to have this coding class every week, subscribe on YouTube. So press that subscribe button, and I will be seeing you next week. Bye, everybody.